Be confrontational. That's the focus of this video. To begin, do you need to confront someone? Or something? Or whatever you want to confront? Think about the underlying reason why you want to confront that thing or person. Why is it? What is the reason? Is it big enough to warrant a confrontation? The thing is, that's tricky, right? Because a lot of times we make it out to be something small, and therefore that's an excuse, and therefore we don't need to confront it. And this requires a level of reflection in order to determine if you're lying to yourself or not. But I think you'll be able to do it. So, if it is not something you don't need to confront, then just don't do it. It doesn't do you any good to force yourself to do something. The more you force yourself to do things you truly don't want to do, the more you won't do them in the future. Why cause yourself anguish now? Why do it? However, if you decide not to, but it still bothers you, that's signaling something. That's signaling that it's not something small. That's telling you something that you need to take action. You need to do something. Therefore, if you're at a stage where you absolutely need to, stop thinking about what you're going to lose. It's a loser's mentality. Someone who is not looking to win, but rather to not lose. And the thing is, all those people end up losing. All of them. You need to look at what you could gain, what you could win, instead of the cost, what you could lose. Of course, looking at the cost is beneficial, but only prioritizing that will lead you down a spiral of only losses. You need to focus more on what you can gain. Still taking into account the costs. Your focus needs to be on what you can gain. So an aspect of why you don't want to confront, I believe, is you don't respect yourself. And I think a very quick way to respect yourself is to recognize your capacity to do evil. So think about this. You could have been a Nazi. That's entirely true. Not even you could have. You would be a Nazi. You would be. Imagine this scenario. Imagine the atrocities you would be doing. Imagine pulling the lever and killing tens at a time in a gas chamber. Imagine it. That's you. You may not believe me, but that is true. This dark side of you, everyone has it. And it's what Jung called the shadow. You need to discover your shadow. You need to discover how bad you truly are. Because someday or another, you are going to discover it. And depending on the scenario, it could be absolutely terrible. It is better to discover it now while you're in a calm state, while you can rationally think about it, than when you're extremely emotional, when you're in a fight or flight state. And then when you're done, you look at what you did, and then you realize, I am a terrible person. Realize it now. Acknowledge that you are capable of doing atrocities. something that I thought about was, at what stage would I pulverize a person's leg? And the thing is, I don't think it'll take that much. Really. I think if I was really emotionally unstable, all it would take is for a close friend or family member to have their leg pulverized, and then it would be done. My normal self, I would like to say that it would take someone to murder a close friend or a family member. That's not much. That is not much for me to become a monster. That is not much. I implore you to do this reflection, to think about that as well. But another aspect is treating yourself like a friend. If your friend was having the same issues with confrontation, what would you say to them? Imagine that scenario. Act it out. See what happens. And the thing is, for the most part, nobody is going to help you. You're lucky if you have people to encourage you to do things. But no one will do things for you. No one will baby you into doing things. No one will baby you and do things for you. Only you do things for yourself. Or at least when you start being an adult. Or move out or whatever. Stop being complacent. Stop seeking excuses. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to confront someone for you. That's your job. And it's your responsibility. I find it interesting that the most important factor in a totalitarian state is complacency. Why is North Korea so successful at maintaining its regime? Because the people there don't know that they're living in a poverty hell, in an impoverished hell. Years of living in poverty, eating rats to survive. The easy answer is to just blame the dictator. Dictator is all his fault. But no. It's the collective fault of every single person who is complacent in the dictator's rise. Whether it is due to fear, whatever, or just not knowing, it is their fault. It's all of their faults. Their faults for being complacent. You can't have a dictator without a complacent population. That's why the main focus of any totalitarian state is to make the population complacent. Is to gain favor. To gain favor is to make the population complacent. That is the goal. So, there are two sides of yourself. There's the dictator and the rebel. One of them is because you're complacent. The other is because you are not complacent. You take responsibility. You say, it is my fault. It is my cross to bear. So take responsibility. because no one else is going to help you.